Hello everyone, welcome to the Ineffableelse and welcome to a very hot sunny morning in Madrid. This is the first in our astrological series surrounding the planet Venus. This is a one to watch if you have Venus in the first house, or if you have Venus in Aries, or Venus conjunct Mars. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a comment below, go to the website ineffableelse.com if you'd like to book a reading with me, and we can go deeper into your personal astrological makeup. I've also started a Patreon, and I'd appreciate it if you could support this channel on there, as well as you can benefit from getting extra monthly goodies relating to the subjects of relationship, astrology, and self-inquiry. So let's first look at the nature of Aries in the first house. Now this is Martian energy. This is energy that generally likes to move forward and charge. It's masculine and it's active. Venus is much more feminine and passive. If we look at Venus as being how we love, if you have this kind of internal synastry going on, then you're going to be loving in a way which is fast-paced, explosive, and with very big beginnings, very sparky and initiating and fearless in love. It's very innocent and playful. It's the first sign of the zodiac, and it means that we jump into things head first. You know, we really don't worry about consequences, and this can be so activating and so galvanizing, and others can really look to and feel this incredible sense of wanderlust and potential, and it's infectious. Venus is all to do with values. It's what we value and what we hold dear, and for Aries this is all about time and the pace of things, and things being now. It's all about now and this appreciation of now, and it's a very good place to be able to just be in the moment and to live in this moment and not be too preoccupied with planning and nitpicking finer details. This is what feels good now and what is happening now, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to observe passing phenomena and be present for it, where others may be lost in thoughts, maybe other parts of your psyche may be lost in thoughts, but you have this capacity with this kind of energy to bring yourself back into the moment and really appreciate this specific event here in front of you. This little curiosity. It's a very, very curious place for Venus. It's also got so much to do with what you find attractive and what you find beautiful, and it will be this attraction to the different and the unique and the something you've never seen before. And there isn't this dualistic faction where there's a separation. There's a true appreciation and joy at finding something, and then of course as children wanting to assimilate that, wanting to imitate that and play. So it's the biggest compliment you can get from a Aries Venus is when they start to adopt some things that they may have seen in another person. There are many things to watch out for with this, which is that infatuation and the honeymoon period and impulsivity and jumping in full force without taking any consideration in. And there's a time and a place for that, but with things that will affect you in the long term, there needs to be more of a balance brought in. There needs to be an integration of the whole. The Aries archetype it's not even that it leaves the others behind, it just charges on without any kind of thinking, without any kind of processing. It's just instantaneous. And in this era of Instagram and Snapchat and all of these passing phenomenon that is so rapid, there are much deeper layers to Venus itself which you could engage with. There's so much that Venus can offer you about taking that energy which sees something, which can initiate and see something for what it is in that moment, but then to be able to carry that forwards to inspire others. There is always a certain thing with Aries that it is a starter, it's not a finisher, it's an initiating factor, which is, it shouldn't be repressed or denied in any way, but to make sure that's being shared with others, because sometimes there's such a speed to it and such a rapidity. It's almost frantic, and this is where the Mars and the Venus must work together, and that is exactly what is happening when you have Venus in the first house, Venus in Aries, Venus conjunct Mars. There's this tension of opposites which needs to be encouraged, and it's like a bat and ball game that has to integrate both things. So look at what your Mars is doing. Is it in a softer, more feminine sign, and is that informing the other? Is one informing the other? These are your anima, animus, your internal masculine and feminine, and how balanced are they in you? These yin and the yang energy. When you sit in meditation, how do you feel it flowing? Do you feel yourself stagnating? Does stagnation feel very uncomfortable for you? Are you able to just sit still? What is your framework? How are you framing your experiences? How are you framing your perception of what it is to be a mover and a shaker, and what it is to be still and patient? Patience is always a thing to cultivate, and sometimes gardening and seeing a seed grow is the antithesis of Aries Venus. So try to be able to observe the seed change and the seasons change, and that gradual process. When we're young, we move so fast because we don't know time, we don't understand time. When we get older, we know more about time to the point where we can really appreciate and sit back. We don't need to feel all of the time. And when you have this texture of Aries infiltrating your Venus, it can be almost a grinding of the teeth, because it's never satisfactory. So be careful of chasing quick fixes, substances, and anything that shoots through your system. You don't need to have caffeine and stimulants in this way. You are stimulated enough, and just to be able to feel into that is crucial for your integrated Venus, instead of a Venus that is and being forced to do something that it's not naturally inclined to do. So observe your impulses and don't act on them. This is a key for anyone. Watch your impulsive behavior, watch your compulsive behavior, but with this placement it's more likely to be impulsive and thrill-seeking, adrenaline junkie. And as children, we seek the highs and we seek the chaos, and with some belief that we're invincible. Venus Aries is there to say, yes, you are invincible, but why do that? Why do you need to beat the bounds in exactly that way? You know, there has to be, of course, some testing and some pushing, and this is where, when you're younger especially, your Venus won't feel very Venus-y, won't feel very loving, very nurturing and kind. It will feel quite reactive. But that's just because you are finding what it is that you love and what you find beautiful, and it has to be something very individual to you. This is about the self. This is a selfish placement for Venus, and that's what it is. But it doesn't mean that it has to be about self-destruction or self-gratification in a seedy or a shallow way. There's so many other ways to really get your buzz, and one of the nicest things about this place is not needing another to feel that buzz. You don't need another to bounce anything off of. You are bouncing on your own. You're a bouncy ball, and it's very, very pretty and sweet in Venus. And just what can Venus pick up along the way as it passes through your life with this archetype attached to it, with these clothes on? And it is spring. It is birds fledging from nests and baby lambs, and the only thing that babies know how to do is scream. They cry and they cry and they cry. It's all they know how to do. So this is a great place for compassion. This is a great place to have the compassion for youth, and especially if you're a parent, to use this kind of playfulness that you have in playing with your children. And if you've been shamed for it, be sure you're not passing on that shame to younger generations. Of course, we've had a lot of judgment against play and true play. And play is ultimately how we learn. It's the main way that we learn, is through engaging and playing and experimenting. And this is extremely experimental. That is Venus in Aries. I hope you enjoyed this little insight. Please find out the rest of your birth chart and see how it is engaging with other planets within your chart and what is happening in the sky that triggers different parts of your chart. As I said, if you'd like me to give you a reading, I can. Just go to the website, drop me a line, and just reach out, make contact. I have Instagram and Facebook, also somehow Twitter. So any way you want to contact me, I'm here. So thank you so much for being here, and take care.